Hello, and I'm wondering, so I'm gonna have to switch my angle because I'm not out here in the afternoon very often. So let's find a place with less crazy sun. Woo! So those of you, I'm gonna have to go against this wall to get out of the sun. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a little different, huh? I'm trying to find a space with less glare. Can I find one? Right there, but it's not the nicest spot. Good, it's afternoon. Isn't it weird to be doing afternoon live? But I'm grateful you're all here live. And have you ever thought about what makes maybe you different from those people that maybe feel less body hating and maybe even love their bodies? And I'm not trying to be coy here with you, but what I have seen with people, and before I jump into that, everybody I see here live so far, that knows me, but for those who don't, my name is Tracy Brown. I'm a somatic non-diet dietitian and a tune eating specialist. And what we're going to talk about today is something that you can use today, or at least start to work on for today, to like put some jet fuel into your liking your body more, body image and self-care efforts. And all it is there's two ways to say this. One of it would be like, I've got nothing left to lose. And sometimes when you just are kind of backed against the wall and you're trying to like mentally work, do everything you possibly can not to like your body, go back to restricting and binging and all the other behaviors, there's a level of like, what do I have that I'm going to lose if I don't? Like if I just say, this is the body I have, and magic dust, nobody in the whole wide world will ever change. My body won't change. My friends' bodies won't change. Nobody's body will change. And we're all just forever with these same bodies. And so no matter what I do, I can't change that. If I obsess about my calorie intake, if I compare myself to others, if I don't eat, if I eat everything, and, because if we eat zero, we're going to have a lot of physical discomfort, right? If we eat everything to the point of uncomfortable, full, like nauseous fullness, that's not going to change your weight. It's like at that point there's going to be just like nothing left. And it's like, this is where I'm at. I'm going to have to burn that bridge. Like trying to get myself to be smaller. What do you think you would do? I don't know if anybody has any thoughts. What would you do if it's like, I can't change this body? Maybe I can't even change. I'm not talking about medical health issues at all in this video at all. This is not what we're talking about. We're talking about like if it didn't matter what I did. My body is going to want to be where it needs to be vital and thriving in this life. And I don't necessarily right now like it, but I can't change it no matter what I do. How do you think that would be? And when I ask that question for people, usually 9 out of 10 times they say, well, I wouldn't like it, but I think I would get used to it. Because I think sometimes when we think we still have got the option to do one more diet, we still think that pill or that potion or that surgery, that thing is going to fix this perceived body problem. If we still feel like we have that bridge to cross, then it kind of keeps us back from saying, this is the body I have, and it's gotten me this far. I don't have to love it. The body hatred isn't helping me do anything. Feel more nourished, be more present, grow my ability to be more social if that's what I'm really hungering for, and that I'm holding back on until I lose weight or till my body looks different. We think about all these things, and it's a lot of things we kind of keep in the weight loss basket to have, or even if you're in the shoes of like, I know that my body, if I were fully nourished, I wouldn't weigh this little. Some of you know that. Or you know that you're weight suppressed. And you know that. That's not everybody watching today. But some of you know, like if I gain weight, what would I do? How would I carry on? And what am I missing? And knowing that like probably what you're wanting is on the other side of either if you burn that bridge to like knowing that you're going to try to restrict or whatever to get a different body to hopefully get some kind of emotional result from yourself or from somebody else, of burning the bridge to try to get that wasn't available, you would have so much energy liberated for the actually self-care or the connection or the things that you want. I know it's easier said than done. This isn't like a how-to video. This is just like noticing the barrier video. So I'm going to answer a question here. If it didn't matter and there was no fat phobia in the world, why would I need to change it? I would have nothing to compare to if everyone was the way they were and couldn't change. Brilliant, right? So the truth is, there's fat phobia. And that's what I'm trying to say, is that if we didn't let fat phobia decide how we feel about ourselves, that's what this conversation is about, is you can't change what other people think anyway. And that's why I say this silly example of like magic dust that, nobody could change. And so we can't necessarily change fat phobia, but we can be in charge of how we respond to it. And oftentimes we respond to fat phobia by hating ourselves and thinking our body is bad. And therefore, if I just get the right body, then I'll be okay. It's like the opposite action. It's, what if I got okay with myself and use all that energy that I use fighting against like what reality is, to say, what would happen if I use all that energy into loving up on myself? The truth is, there isn't anything to compare to. If we take ourselves out of the I need to figure out how to fit into the fat phobic system, right? Instead of like, oh, what if I just stop playing that game? And it doesn't mean it doesn't impact us. And especially if you're in a larger body, of course it does. As somebody who's thin privileged, I know that. I'm not trying to dismiss any of it. But what choice do we have? It's almost like, I hear you, and how can I support you? Versus, I can't encourage you to continue to hate yourself, hoping that other people will get it together. And the truth is, there's nothing to compare to. We are all meant to look different. We are. And if you believed in that enough, and I believe in that enough, there's going to be enough people out there that might notice that oh, we look different. You're taller than me, or you're different hair color than me, or you're smaller than me, or whiter than me, or whatever. But I don't consider either one of us to have a problem with our hair, our skin, our body size, our height, or whatever. There's just not a problem, because I'm not doing that thing that I thought I needed to do to at least have relative safety. I'm not saying in fat phobic culture, if you don't go along with the system of hating yourself, that it's easy. I'm just saying, what option do we have if we want to be more free? Let's see if there's anything else here. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's what I wanted to hear. Somebody say, what about it? What about it? Let's just really speak the truth to it. And, I'm not the one that's the authority on this subject, by the way. It's just something that I want to bring up that I just see in client sessions year after year, is when you start to liberate that and burn that bridge. Like, I'm not going to wait for culture to catch up with me. I'm gonna go forward and then work on my own personal barriers and not worry as much. It doesn't make it go away. It just means we build more capacity and resiliency in it. And that's what we can do. So thank you all so much for watching live. If you want to learn more about how to build that capacity and resiliency, I am keeping the doors open to the Peace with Food community open till next Monday, which is Monday the 28th. So for those of you who are like, oh, I want to get in it and not now, I will reopen those doors sometime, but I don't know when in 2019. I know I will sometime, but for now we've got, what is today, Wednesday? So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got 6 more days, so the door will be open. And I'm doing that not to create some kind of marketing scarcity here. It's just that I need to focus on the people in the group and not constantly be talking about it, to be honest. That's the reason, because I want to serve my people well, and I care a lot about those who trust and invest in me. So I need to talk less about groups and what I've got available and more about doing the work. not thinking and talking, more about doing. And I'm an action oriented person, and I want to encourage that of you as well. And what are the barriers to the action you need? Can we be a little less worried about what fat phobic culture is thinking about us or saying, and be more about, and liberate some of that energy away from self-hatred to, oh, I care about myself to be more in this world. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you. If this video struck a chord, it resonated with you, tell me about it. I would love to hear it. And also, if there's someone you know that would benefit from just this, whoa, I've never heard this before, or it's helpful, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Take care. Bye.